Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with death by numbers 21 on Dirt Rally, with Peugeot 205 getting things ever so slightly wrong at Finland in the ditches. That's a big roll for the poor Peugeot. He lands it perfectly, unfortunately a little bit of a bump further down, kind of screws it over, but there we go. Cooler Potato also on Dirt Rally finds out that the AI's not very patient if you're ahead of them in the Joker lap here. This poor Subaru is deposited, pointing the wrong directions. That's a little bit on the mean side from the Volkswagen there. Just you know, a little bit mean. Up next, we've got Guige 571 on a GTA 5. He's minding his own business, slightly missing a tyre on his Oracle, when the game decides it's not interesting enough and that a minivan should be thrown directly at his car. He manages to avoid it as best he can. But yeah, sudden random appearing minivans. That's something new for GTA 5. It's Nexo here is up next again on GTA 5 with a tow truck. These things are good fun to mess around. Often physics can get a little bit unhappy when you're towing, especially some of the larger vehicles around here. Physics can sometimes get a little bit unhappy, as we are about to see. So it gets the journey actually does a pretty good job of sliding around following the tow truck. He overcooks it ever so slightly, and the journey runs across a curb, and that's it. It's across the curb, and now the journey wants to wiggle its way down the road. Manages to attack the tow truck. I mean, they pretty much stop at that stage while he tries to recover it, but nope, that's not killed the momentum of the journey. It is still rocking from side to side and bouncing around. I don't know what on earth they've done to the suspension of this thing to want to make it do this. Eventually, I think he loses control of the tow truck, and the poor journey gets slammed into another truck and catches fire. But that's some interesting physics. Joey Bacon has managed to find the FailRace Police Department at its best. Yep, currently trying to climb a fence. Funnily enough, cars are not exactly the best thing for climbing over a fence, and it promptly got stuck. Yeah, they're not the vehicle that you want to be using for climbing things. Joe Ridiculous has got a PLP50, or seen a PLP50 at least, doing what it does best, and that is rolling very slowly down a hill. Yeah, pedestrian gets in the way. It is no match for the mighty Peel. It does change the direction of it slightly. Now it's tumbling across the road. Maybe a Futo can stop the car. Nope. The Futo cannot stop the P50 from rolling. It really does. It hates being on its wheels. It absolutely loves tumbling its way at incredibly slow speeds. And you just really can't stop the thing. Now it's found another curb and made it safely to the footpath. Trevor manages to fall over and face slide his way slightly down the hill, and still the P50 is going, bouncing off a hedge. So player decides to, can he stop the vehicle? Well, it kind of trips Trevor up, but in his getting up animation, manages to stop. So that's how you stop the P50. Throw bodies underneath it until it eventually can't have anywhere to roll. Then it'll stop. From a very slow speed roll to a very high speed roll with a Jaycat 199 on Drive Club. It's not a good idea to lose control of your Hennessy Venom at about 200 miles an hour in the wet. Tends not to end that well. That's a big shunt for the Venom. Brandon 11M on Forza 6 with a far too powerful Ford Fiesta XR2. It's just spinning its wheels all the way down the Catalunya straight here. Now, there are some tyre bundles here, and often if you hit them at high speeds, they'll kind of launch the car backwards. Not these ones, though. Nope, the Fiesta can drive straight through the tyre bundles and then finds a hole in the world. Killer Kitten 77 on the crew is trying to get away from the police, has a new cunning tactic of how to hide from them. That is, ignore physics and drive through the buildings. The game is not too pleased with this one and decides the Nissan should be thrown backwards. But it works. It is one way of getting away from the police. Admittedly, there is a pickup truck on its side, and physics is not going to be as kind as to let you go through the buildings again, it seems. Yeah, it's a new way of getting away from the cops. Sinmail 21 also on the crew gets cut up slightly by an Alfa Romeo. The bike somehow manages to almost climb its way over the Alfa. Game does not like that overtaking manoeuvre, so decides said bike should be a long way up in the air. Goes for a flip as well in all of that, and lands it okay. That's a lot of airtime. That is an awful lot of airtime on a motorbike. Knife Squad UK has managed to find, I think, a mixture of AIs and players apparently trying to do donuts. This is the difficulty at trying to do donuts, when you can't do donuts with 4 and 5 cars now all in this. You're all getting in one another's way, and an AI car is making a nuisance of himself. it's all a little bit of a mess. Yeah, getting cars to do donuts is not the easiest thing in Need for Speed, let alone when there's 4 of you or 3 of you in an AI car, all making a nuisance of yourself. MB on Mad Max is having an argument with some of the Raider cars when one of them has got a new weaponry. Yes, it is the vertical boost for Max's vehicle. That's a lot of height as well. We've had lots of vehicles getting some serious height on games this week. LM145 is ordering a vehicle up on Just Cause 2. Unfortunately, it is being delivered by the FailRace delivery squad, and, well, said plane is upside down. Yeah, you might want to call that one back in. And finally, we have Knight's Viper with possibly my favourite clip of all time in this series. He's noticed a missile doing some weird things. He tried to shoot it out of the sky, but nope, missile is now just going to continue to circle and circle. Unfortunately, this is a cunning missile. It waits until it piques your curiosity, and then it chooses that moment to attack when you least expect it. Yep, that is a clever, clever missile on Just Cause 2. And, well, he's bye-bye to his helicopter. Anyway, that is it for this episode. If you have clips you would like to submit to this series, then you can via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. At the very top of the page, there's the FailRace clip submission section. In there, you can find all of the rules and how to submit them. But that is it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.